Okay, welcome everybody for a video of Ultimate General Civil War. So I had started a Union campaign, and I was playing on normal difficulty. Uh, Sorry, I think it's actually Brigadier General difficulty, which is supposed to be normal. However, I'm playing with a mod that changes um, the game. It makes it more difficult, and I learned the hard way playing on Shiloh that I'm not ready to be playing on normal difficulty with this mod. So I'm going to be starting a new campaign. We're going to be playing as the Confederacy this time. I think once I beat the Confederacy, playing on an playing on Colonel difficulty, then we can go back and revisit the Union campaign on Colonel difficulty. But I tried to play through Shiloh several times, and it was just so demoralizing uh, because I did not see how we were ever going to win that battle. And I think that that campaign failed for several reasons. Number one, I was not playing battles all the way through to the end. Usually, if you're given the option to continue the battle, you should, uh, because uh, the enemy forces will scale up if you leave soldiers alive at the end of the battle, and I wasn't doing a very good job about that. I was winning battles, and I was thinking, well, I'm not sure if the losses that I take are really worth it to fully destroy the enemy forces, and um, I think that was a big mistake. I think I should have been pressing my advantage and destroying those remaining forces. Uh, Another issue is I learned that you should be buying generals and high-level colonels and making them your brigade uh, officers, because then your units will achieve that rank 1 veterancy sooner, and rank 1 veterancy just makes your units so much better versus being complete rookies. I wasn't doing that, and I think I was also spending too much money um, buying the more advanced weaponry, and that came back to bite me because I feel like I wasn't able to field enough units to stave off the Confederates at Shiloh. So we are abandoning that campaign. Sorry to say, that's a skill issue. But we're going to be playing the Confederacy today. So welcome everybody who's here for our Confederacy campaign. Okay, so in the beginning, you have always dreamed of becoming a military officer like your father. You feel it is your destiny to serve your nation, earning glory with honor on the battlefield. And then from here, I'm going to go strategist. I just like the training bonus that I get. It's pretty neat. So it says you've graduated from West Point specializing in strategy, learning that hard training is crucial for an effective army. And next I'm going to go infantry. Again, I really like the training bonus. It says you served as an infantry officer at the Battle of Monterey. You earned great distinction for your role leading the assault upon the town. Here I'm going to go politics, because politics will increase how much money you receive after every battle. Economy is going to lower the cost of weapons. So this is kind of like the economic uh, career path. So it says politics. After the war, you entered politics. Your sterling reputation and skill at managing men helped you become a United States congressman. And here we're going to go with the Confederate route. The country is divided. You cannot fight your own people, so you've returned home and joined the Confederate States of America. The high spirits and esprit de corps of your fellow countrymen will help you forge a powerful army and win the war. Again, last time I went Brigadier General. That was a mistake. I wasn't ready for it. We're going to go with Colonel. And so this is going to give us extra golden recruits in every battle, and also it's going to reduce the enemy strength. The Colonel description, we understand that you don't have much experience, and this is why your enemies will have reduced strength, and you'll receive more recruits and gold to aid you in your quest. Well, That's a little demoralizing, but this is casual gaming here, right? I don't have all day to spend getting good at the game. We're gonna go again with the name Trigger, and let's get going. General, your first assignment is to secure a small coastal fort at this bank of the Potomac River. Your vanguard must hurry up and eliminate the Union batteries while the fort is lightly guarded. The Federals have been alerted and gather forces to block the river passage in front of you. Additionally, enemy regiments have been spotted marching along this road. Advance fast and gain ground before the fort is heavily reinforced, or else your task will be much harder. The rest of your troops will join you in about half an hour. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to work over here. We've got two sizable infantry brigades. We've got some good skirmishers here. We've got some good cavalry. So let's do it. These guys are actually equipped with pretty good guns, I must say. This one is okay. Springfield M1855 is okay, but this is pretty good, and this is fairly good, and this is also a good weapon for melee cavalry. And there's some skirmishers. Let's go chase them down with our melee cavalry. We'll keep advancing over here. Get Trigger up here. And so our goal, of course, as it said, is to capture this fort. There's going to be 2 artillery batteries that we need to destroy. And we'll get on that shortly. Wow, these light infantry just lets them cook. Look at these guys move. Looks like we'll probably destroy that unit with our charge. And I'm just going to give chase to these skirmishers. Keep running after them. And so for those of you who weren't watching my Union campaign, I'm playing with the J&P rebalance mod. It changes the perks on units. It changes some mechanics to the game. Overall, it makes it more difficult. But one thing I really like is at the end of every mission, you'll have an opportunity to put points into certain stats of your general, and those the bonuses that you receive from putting points into your career stats become progressively greater. So the more points you put into something, the greater benefit you're receiving from it, which I think is pretty neat. I believe this mod also slows down the game time if there was a game timer up here, and it slows down the movement speed of units. So we might be moving a little bit slower than normal, slower than the vanilla, I should say. But that's all part of the plan. I will say some of the things, there are perks that increase your speed, and the units move almost cartoonishly fast. And that's part of why I was getting so frustrated in Shiloh, is it felt like all the Confederate units had melee perks, and so these guys were just running through the woods really quickly. I was getting only a limited number of volleys off on them, and they were crashing into me with still having pretty good morale, and then of course having the melee perk. They were just doing so much damage. So I'm really going to be thinking hard about how I want to play this one differently. In my Union campaign, I got skirmishers relatively early, but I felt like my skirmishers had extremely limited utility. And maybe that's just because I hadn't used them very much in battle, and of course their stats were really low. But it's kind of making me rethink if I want to go skirmishers early again. Right now I'm leaning towards no. I'm also thinking about whether I want to have a unit of melee or a shock infantry in each division. That might be kind of fun, and it also helped me stop charging infantry a lot easier. So I might maybe do that. Have two units or two brigades of infantry that are mostly focused on, firefight, shooting it out, and then have one shock infantry unit in each division, and just seeing how that goes. Okay, we know that there was an infantry brigade. It was moving north out of here, so they've got to be around here somewhere. We're going to take this vantage point. It's going to give us better vision. It's going to give us better vision to see where people are at. And we got hit by some skirmishers, I believe, but I don't know where those skirmishers are. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up. Ah, there they are. Okay. I'm gonna send my cavalry over there to deal with that. That'll be pretty simple. So I'm hoping this will corral. Okay, there we go. Now let's go after these guys. And let's slow it down again as we're getting in range. Oh, it looks like there's more Union infantry coming from over here. If that's the case, okay. The Yankees seem determined to defend the fort. We've got reinforcements and supplies. Use them wisely, General. Okay. So let's get these guys up here on the double. I'm going to go ahead and draw a path for them so that they're not running through the forest, which is going to slow them down. Get our supply wagon moving up here. Let's get our two infantry units in position. And I want these skirmishers in a place to start harassing them to give these guys time to move up. Looks like they may have run into some skirmishers. Yeah, that's what's going on. So my idea is I want to engage this infantry brigade, but they keep falling back. And then while their infantry is engaged, I want my cavalry to come around and charge the two artillery batteries. Looks like there's some more skirmishers over here. Okay, let's start moving our cavalry into position, because our infantry is going to open up on them. Okay, there they are, the skirmishers are there. And now I want them to come out of the forest cover before I start really laying into them. Okay, interesting, we captured this artillery. Yeah, I'll let Crocker just shoot him in the flank with his revolver. Sounds like a great idea. Great, another surrender. We'll take it. We'll put our guys in these where are they, earthworks? Yeah, earthworks. Oh, nice. Over here, opening fire on the flank of the 2nd Ohio. Let's get our cavalry after them. Still moving along pretty speedily here. These guys are just in such bad condition. I think I'm going to walk them the rest of the way. It's not urgent that they get up here quickly. I'm going to shift positions. Let's keep chasing these skirmishers. Let's get him over here. And I think we're in a pretty good position to hold now. Supply wagon is doing supply wagon things, just way back there. That's fine, we have supply in the fort, just a teeny tiny bit, so not too concerned. I want to get into this urban cover and then start shooting on them from the side. What are we equipped with? Reboard, those are decent. I mean, they're pretty bad, but they're like okay at this point in the game. Congratulations, you secured the fort. The fort has served our purposes for some time and has prevented enemy supply ships from passing this section of the river. But now the Union is on the offensive. Ironclads approach to bombard us. Federal infantry has disembarked west of the fort and is moving to attack. We have called for help and more troops will arrive shortly to support the defense. It is advised to deploy some skirmishers along the ridge west of the fort to delay the Yankee advance. We need to buy time for our fort's batteries to counterfire and disable the ironclads. General, hold your ground at all costs. We must prove today that the rebellion has a strong foundation and that we will fight for every inch of southern soil. Okay, and with that, we're gonna open fire on these ironclads because we need to destroy them. Nice, we've got plenty of great guys here in the fort ready to hold out. Actually going to switch Kempner and Siegfried just because Kempner is a little... Actually, I'm going to switch out. I'm going to switch Bernie over here. I'll put Kempner back over here. I'll put Siegfried here. I'll put Bernie here. And initially that was because Kempner's rifle isn't as good as these two. But Kempner and Siegfried, I'm pretty sure, are the two units that I'll keep after the battle. And so I want them to get as much experience fighting as possible. And we'll just speed up the game as we lay into these ironclads over here. The Anacostia and the Thomas Freeburn. Oh, and looks like there's some federal forces coming up. Some skirmishers. I want to have Bernie actually come out of the fort, and that way Bernie will be able to flank anyone who wants to try to fire on our positions over here. Let's speed up the game again. Quickly mobilize your forces to defend the fort. Okay, yes, so they are mobilizing over here. Looks like there's some artillery. That's great. I'll just use Crockett to take that artillery once looks like there's an opportunity. Oh, and so the reason you're seeing all these question marks, it's because we don't know how many men are in that unit, and that is because my recon stat is really low, and so we won't know how many men they have until they get pretty close to us. And as I increase that recon stat, I'll be able to see further and further out how many men they have, and we'll also be able to spot hiding units easier. But I don't place a lot of value on recon. I usually invest my points in other things, so I don't know if that's correct or not, but that is how I handle it. And so now we're just waiting for the Union forces to get in position. And I'm holding Crockett over here because it's giving us the vision, and it's also not quite the time to bring him in. But I am excited to do so when it is time. And it looks like my artillery didn't have a firing. Their firing arc couldn't turn over here, so I'm actually going to move them over here to behind our fortified infantry. Okay, I am going to have Crockett try to seize these supplies. Trigger over here. So it looks like their general and their supplies are over here. So we'll just come up and take... I got shot by something, but I don't see anything. They must have some skirmishers over here. Indeed, I think that might have been what shot me. Alright, well we're going to try to do some damage to this artillery over here, and then we're going to try to cut loose. So we're just opening up with our revolver, trying to get them to rout. That's one thing that's fun about this mod, is that the weapons that have, you know, where it says 6-shot cylinder, right, for this revolver, it means they can fire 6 times in quick succession, and then there's going to be a lengthy reload time. So that is different from vanilla. Vanilla, it doesn't really matter, you know, whether it's a 6-shot revolver or 5-shot revolver, or, you know, 7-shot reloading rifle. It just kind of had an effect on their fire rate, but this, I think it's really cool that you basically get a magazine of 6 shots, and then there's a reload time. Looks like we're getting some reinforcements little by little, which is good. So I'm just going to have them come over here and try to pose a threat to the Union right flank. And I would love to escort this supply wagon back to the fort. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Alright, I want to unload on them with my 6-shot revolver and then charge into them. Alright, one more. There we go. And I did that because I was hoping that this unit would break and then I could charge this one, but that's fine. This works out too. So I mentioned this at the beginning, but I think part of why I lost the Union campaign is because I wasn't doing a very good job at destroying the enemy army, and so I'm going to be much more focused on that now. Of course, I'm playing on Colonel mode, which is going to be a lot easier. But we're still going to be taking this seriously and trying our best to prevent having to abandon our Confederacy campaign. I don't know how my cavalry is still visible over here. It's kind of frustrating, but fine. I'm gonna try and see if I can't take out the artillery piece over here while we're closing in on this side. And I want to trap the Union against the Potomac River over here and try to take them out. That would be ideal for me, at least. And then this unit is melee focused, so I kind of want to charge them in once we're seeing success with this plan of pushing them into the river. Also, this artillery is so contrary. So everyone focus on Grant, because Grant is charging in, trying to cause problems, and we don't want them causing problems. That's not okay. Bring Trigger out of the fort. I'm probably gonna need morale more down here than in the fort. I'm just gonna have Crocker hold position and just lay into this guy with the revolvers. And I'm gonna have him back out. Allen, I want moving forward. I am ready to charge them, basically. And here we go. On stamina, still doing okay. Excellent. We got several surrenders. Excellent, excellent. What were these guys equipped with? Mississippi, reboard. So those are pretty decent. let's go ahead and speed this up because this is a, I mean, it's pretty apparent what's going to happen at this point. Is a foregone conclusion. Speed this up. Okay. And then let's charge them. So I'm just going back and forth. All right, having eliminated them, that is it. Mission complete. So we recovered a lot of those Mississippis, which is good. Recovered some reboard muskets, that's good. Captured Napoleon, captured a 3-inch ordnance gun. Not bad. The Civil War Campaign Medal. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna look ahead to first bull run, see how many men we can bring. We can bring 8. So, what that means, let's upgrade my general, and I'm going to give him firepower so that my firearms are going to do more damage. But I really am tempted by like the speed stuff. I always am, just because I think it's fascinating that your units could be moving around faster. Anyway, firepower. And let's go ahead and look over here. I got two career points. And so let's see how many I can bring to Newport News. I can bring 4. So there's no incentive for me to, in order to bring more men into the battle, I would have to put a point into army organization, but there is no incentive for me to do that right now. So I think, well, actually there kind of isn't an incentive, but I'm just going to put 2 points into politics for right now. And then after I win Newport News, we'll put a point into army organization. And for right now, I think that we are going to make another infantry brigade. But this is going to be our melee brigade. And I'm going to fit him out with a low colonel. Do that. We'll see how many men I can put in here before we start losing efficiency. We can have basically 2,000 before we start losing any efficiency. Which maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I think I will. Just for the fun of it.
Sir, yes, sir!
And I want it to be, I'm going to label these shock because otherwise I feel like I'm not going to know the difference, and I want to know which my shock infantry are. So, a 3-inch gun is good. How many veterans do I have? 9? Not a lot. Not a lot. Okay. So I am limited on the number of men this artillery unit can have because of my army organization. So when I put a point into that after this battle, it'll be better. And now I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth it to go in with these better rifles. I think it's fine. Looks like we can put in about 1,500 men without hurting our efficiency too bad. I'm gonna do the same thing here, 1,500. And just take a peek here at what our reputation can buy. 5 reputation for these M1842s, not a good deal, but 5 reputation for the Mississippis is not bad. This is just a vastly better firearm than the Springfield M1842. Oh, I need to put some points into supply, and then I think we're gonna call it here. Next time we're gonna be playing Newport News. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry again about the Union campaign if anyone was watching that, but I'm feeling a lot more hopeful with this Confederate campaign. We're playing on an easier difficulty. I shouldn't have to abandon this one. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one.